Welcome to the Quest for Meaning podcast, where we embark on a journey to answer one of life's biggest questions. What is the meaning of it all? Because when you find meaning, you find happiness. I'm your host, Alistair Haberfield. Join me as we dive deep into the stories, practices, and philosophies that illuminate your path to a more meaningful life. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about arguably my first step on my journey to meaning, and that is meditation. Meditation, I've maybe done now for about 10 years, on and off. There have been times when I've been doing it every day, like now, and there have been times when I took a huge gap, maybe a few weeks, maybe even months. So why am I starting in the first episode with meditation? Spending time to sit by ourselves and take up our own space in our own bodies and just simply be with our beings is really hard. There are more and more distractions in this day and age, and it's only getting worse. So even finding 5 minutes a day can be really hard. Allowing yourself to do that allows you to connect more with yourself and start thinking about that quest for meaning, rather than being sucked up in the shoulds of what you should do, running from thing to thing, just filling your calendar and running between it, and collapsing exhausted at the end of the evening. Meditation really just gives you that space and that gap and that breath to just breathe and just be present. My journey started with meditation probably from, I can't remember the exact time that I first meditated, but I know it was very much revolving around self-growth and trying to be a better human. I used apps like Headspace. Calm was the first app that I started with, and I had a free trial. It was a short meditations, they were 10 minutes, and they really helped me to drop in, get into that deeper state, and just be at one with myself and see what came up. Something that I hadn't really done when I was growing up, and in my day and age we weren't taught that at school and growing up, and I think it's amazing now that kids have been taught these things and these tools, and it's time as adults started catching up too and actually using them. So after today's episode, I would hope that if you tried meditation before and you have not enjoyed it, that you become refreshed and renewed and wanting to try it again. And if you haven't tried it before, that you will try it and want to try it. And if you're a seasoned veteran in meditation, then I'd hope that you want to explore the meditations that I created and add them to your repertoire. So that's a bit of an introduction. Now let's go a bit deeper. Let's start with a bit of a myth around meditation. Out there seems to be this myth that meditation is there for you to switch off your thoughts, to completely turn them off. And actually, that's not what we're doing. We're just becoming more present of the thoughts and the things that are passing through, or the feelings we're having, just becoming more conscious of who we are and what's going on. And that's the basics of meditation, and then you can build on different things related to that. So you could, for example, have meditations that get you in a particular space. So that you might have creativity meditations that ignite that spark within you, so you come out of that meditation with great ideas and great things to get on the canvas. And that's still using your brain, right? It's not switching it off. It's just we're trying to be more present and conscious of your thoughts as the first step. Just aware that they exist, not shut them down, not close them down and shut them off, but just be present with them no matter how painful they are. And then we're trying to shift our thoughts towards more positive outcomes and things that we want to achieve. And I'd say they're the basic initial steps in meditation, or the meditations that you might try. And then there's meditations that go even deeper. So there's ones that perhaps get you in such a deeper state that you can fall asleep. I've just launched one on my YouTube channel called The Golden Path. It's a short story, so do check that out if you want a bedtime story to fall asleep to. And there's also ones that go a bit beyond that, so they get you in that deep theta state, and they perhaps get you astral projecting or leaving your body, going to a place that you've never been before. And I've had experience in all of those, and the thing I will say is there are probably as many meditations as there are books that have been written. And so if you have a bad experience with one meditation, that doesn't mean, meditation is not for you. It's just, there's people that you might resonate with more. There's particular sounds that might affect you more. There's even things like hypnosis or things that get you into that deep theta state. And so I will say, if you try one meditation and it's not working for you, don't give up. Just keep trying different ones. And for me, variety is the spice of life. So I like my go-to ones, but also I love trying new ones to just see where they take me, and add a bit of change into that routine. I will also talk about how you don't have to meditate for hours to get benefit. A lot of the meditations on my YouTube channel are only 10 minutes, and I've used them on myself and I get into a deep state and get some real insight from them. Even less than that, you can get great benefit from just a few minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on what you want. If you're just looking at a way of just relaxing, then a few minutes is great. If you're going a bit deeper, you might need a bit longer, but you don't need to meditate for half an hour, hours a day. Even if you do want to get into those deep meditative states, you might do initially, but as you get more used to getting into the deep states quicker, you might find yourself actually needing to meditate less to get the benefit that you want. So I will say, don't be put off by any times or time frames you think you need for it. You can meditate in a quick 5-minute break while you go to the bathroom. So no excuses there. Let me talk about the benefits I have from meditation. Where do I begin? So the first is really just being present with myself and my body and my whole being, and assessing what's going on. Like, I've been told what is going on and what I need, what my mind, body, heart, soul, spirit is telling me, and highlighting any areas of tension in the body where I maybe need to massage, things like that. That's the first thing. The other thing is, I will mention, is I notice when I don't do it, and my anxiety or like pressure, this pressure build up in me will build over days if I don't meditate. And I haven't really come across anyone that does it a lot before, but when I meditate I yawn a lot, and that seems to be my emotional release in a lot of cases. Like this morning I was yawning loads in my meditation, and it's just a way of me moving that energy. Meditation can really help move energy. So we talked about getting in touch and tune with yourself. We talked about moving energy in your body, and we talked also a bit previously around harnessing your energy to do something. In meditations I've gained a lot of great creative insights that have just helped me day to day. Also, another thing is I've had visions of the future. There is this particular, and this is why I believe there's more out there than what science or anything explains, is I did a meditation. It was a 3 messages meditation, and the first message was a fire burning. The second message was a white rose, and the third message was this particular sunset scene. And I did this meditation a few weeks before I was going on a yoga retreat, and the first ceremony on the yoga retreat was a fire burning ceremony, which was the fire, the first message. I realized after the first evening, I picked up a rose out of there was this beautiful vase in front of me on the first evening. They said we could take a flower, and I took back this rose, and I didn't realize until I got back that I'd written white rose in those 3 messages. And then later into the trip, the sunset scene was literally the view from the yoga studio at the end of every night. And so literally I'd seen all those 3 images ahead of time, and it's a benefit for me that is like believing that there is more, knowing there is more. And there's been various signs that I've had and messages in meditation that have come true, come to life, and that's just one example that shows that I'm on the right path, or that this is the direction I need to head. It's really just helped reinforce that I'm on the right path and I'm going where I need to go in this lifetime. So as you can tell from all those benefits, there are very practical aspects from meditation, and there are also more spiritual aspects in seeing what's beyond the physical world around us. And I definitely started out on my journey to meditation just using it for a tool of self-growth to connect with the more practical aspects. I'm a very practical person. And then that progressed into more spiritual elements, especially when going beyond typical meditation into more breathwork practices. So what does meditation's role play in purpose, destiny, and divinity? So as I mentioned, purpose is basically aligning to what you're here for, and meditation has helped me do that through seeing into the future, through giving me creative insights that help me enact and live my purpose. And it's also helped give me the vision of the future. So in relation to destiny, the vision of the future I want to create. I've had a few visions now relating to retreat centers across the world, all being connected, and how the specific retreat centers look like, where they are, like by the ocean. There's definitely one in Spain or Portugal. And yeah, it's really just helped crystallize how I'm feeling in the here and now and the future, and how I'm progressing towards that. In association with divinity, I would say that it just has helped me connect with all of myself, and do meditations that connect with my body more, or specific ones focused on the heart, things like heart breathing, for example, and also ones that go beyond, like astral projection, for example. I mentioned that I stopped meditation for a while, or I noticed when I stopped meditation, and the challenges I face is if I don't usually meditate in the morning, I end up making excuses that I can't fit it in. And if I don't have a good bedtime routine in the evening, then there's no opportunity there to fit it in. And so I will say, work out what the best time for you is to meditate, or like maybe you like a specific meditation at a certain time, and try and stick to those as much as you can. Initially I was tracking it, like I would track, am I doing it every day, until it became a habit. And then once it's a habit, like now it's a habit, and yes, I might leave it for a bit, but I know it's coming back. It's definitely not going away forever. And so, yeah, I would say try your best to fit it into your day and know the waves and your ebbs and flows, and prioritize it. Whether that's by like just saying it's only 5 minutes, or saying, okay, I'm just going to go and sit down and put the meditation on, and if I get distracted or whatever, that's fine. Usually you find you stick at it longer. It's just getting through the first hurdle of just actually sitting down to do it. There is no way to do it right. I don't stay still for meditations all the time. Sometimes I fidget, whatever. Some you're actually encouraged to do that. You're encouraged to move. They can be movement-based meditations. And so there is no straight-laced one way to do it. Whatever works for you to get the benefits that you need. And yeah, try different things. I should mention that one of my favorite meditations is a walking meditation, where you focus on one particular sense and you build on and layer the senses until you have all the senses online. And it's really good to do in the morning, because you focus initially on just walking and really feeling your body as you walk from your legs all the way up. And then you start focusing on feeling tactile sensations in your body, and then you're hearing sounds, and then you're smelling things, and then you're bringing it all together. Wow, there are all these signs and signals that I'm not tuning into consciously as I'm living out day to day. And meditation really allows you to pick up on those subtle signals. I do find now, for example, I can really pick up frequencies when I meditate and actively listen to frequencies that we can't hear day to day. And I've only managed to do that through meditation. So my top 3 practical tips, building on that in summary, would be just do it. Just sit down and do it. Doesn't matter how long for. Just sit down and put it on. And that's your only intention, and see how long you do it for. That's fine. Don't overthink it. You're just putting on a meditation and doing it. You don't need to worry about if you're doing it the right way or whatever. You don't need to worry about how long you're spending doing it. Just do it and just build up the habit from there. So yeah, the third thing is just stick with it and build it into a habit. And once it's a habit, it'll just be ingrained in your life and you'll see the benefits throughout. To summarize, I would say that meditation was the first step in my meaning journey because it really got me consciously feeling and thinking into my body and being with myself comfortably and just listening. The journey of meaning is really going inwards, and the first step to do that is spending and giving yourself the time to do that. So I would encourage you to meditate, everyone to meditate. Everyone should meditate, and I hope they will. And it really will help propel you into the future the more you do it. So we come to the end of the first episode, and I would like to give you a taste of a meditation, but I know a lot of people will be listening to this podcast on the road. So I will just direct you to my YouTube channel. It's called Man's Quest for Meaning. I'll add a link in the show notes. And there's a whole host of meditations on there, a lot to do with your finding your purpose, short stories as well to help you sleep at night. And I will be adding more in future. All of the ones up there right now are 10 minutes long, so not a big time commitment. So give them a try and let me know how you get on. And I'll see you next time on the podcast. Thank you. This has been another step in the quest for meaning. If you're on this journey too, make sure to follow along and share this episode with someone walking their own path. You can explore more at ourquestformeaning.com. This is your quest. Stay curious, be brave, and keep seeking meaning.